3 ways to build better team relationships with your virtual team. Check out this video. Are you struggling because your team isn't communicating the way you think they should? Or maybe they're just not able to come together on a project or task and it feel like it's a coherent process, or it feel like that they're really coming together as a solid team with the same goal in mind? Well, this might be because you have not created the environment to have good team relationships. Having good team relationships is so important with virtual teams. Virtual teammates that are not working in an office environment together do not have the same opportunities to build solid relationships that allows them to come together as a team and be as productive and efficient as possible. So how can we go ahead and make sure that we're fostering the environment and creating the ability for our team members, our virtual team members, to have really good relationships with each other and with us as business owners / managers? Well, the first thing that you're really going to want to make sure you have nailed down is the communication within your business. You really want to make sure that you have a system, like a chat system, whether it's in your CRM or it's another software that you use, or maybe it's even something like WhatsApp. Whatever works most efficiently and productively for your business, go ahead and use that. But you need to make sure you have a system for people to be able to communicate, and you also have processes around communication. So if I'm going to reach out to someone, maybe I don't want to interrupt them if they're in the middle of deep thought on a task, or for example, in a marketing context, maybe I don't want to reach out to someone if they're in a creative spur and I completely sidetrack them and then they lose that creative moment and thought of where they were in their workflow. You really want to make sure that these things are spelled out. Now, on the other side of this, you want to make sure that there's an open environment and that you're facilitating an open environment for communication among your team. So I remember when I was first hiring virtual assistants, I would have my team members come to me and ask me questions. They would ask me for, answers and solutions. And after a while, I realized I had to encourage them to go out to the proper person and communicate with that person to get the answer. If not, they would continue to come to me. So that would simply be they would come to me, ask a question, and I would just say, hey, do we have someone on the team who can, whose job responsibility involves that question? Yes, we do. Okay, great. Who do you think would have the answer for you then? Me or them? And they would go, they do. And I'd be, great. Why don't you go and try and talk to them? So many virtual employees are going to be a little bit hesitant in the beginning to reach out to a team unless you already have a solid team infrastructure built. They're going to be a little nervous about reaching out to the other team members because they don't want to step on anybody's toes. They don't want to, make a scene. They don't want to upset you as their direct overseer, manager. And so their tendencies to come to you directly first. You need to set the precedent with them and tell them that the process is, hey, I trust you. You need to go to the person whose job entails this question because they're actually going to have the proper response for you. I am focused on different tasks within the business, so I'm not the best person to ask most of the time. So making sure that you not only have systems and processes in place to facilitate communication, but that you're also making sure that communication done well and done properly within your business is a focus of yours, and encouraging your team to do that is absolutely critical to making sure that your team can have solid working relationships, can come together and get processes, get tasks, and get projects done. The second thing that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing as well is going to be understanding the workflow and work habits of your team. This is important, especially when you're hiring and you're looking to bring in another team member. You don't want to bring someone in who's going to disturb the flow or agitate the environment that you've built or that your team has built and the communication preferences that they have. For example, bringing someone who's very loud and boisterous into a library environment is not going to be very productive. It's going to be very distracting for the rest of your team. Now, there's always an adjustment period with new employees for them to adjust into the systems and processes in your business. However, we all have different styles and different personality types and different communication preferences and different ways that we build relationships with people. And so you want to make sure that you're bringing someone in who matches the environment, who can match or complement the employees that you already have. If you're building a brand new team, I'm glad you're enjoying the video. If you need help with hiring, training, or managing your VAs, make sure you click the link in the description below to check out our free VA hiring workshop. If you need one-on-one help with me, click the link to schedule an appointment to see how I can help. Then what you want to do is you want to understand the workflow of your current team members, and you want to start documenting that and turning that into a process for communication and for team building and times to build relationships within your business. So, for example, one of my core beliefs when I am leading a team is that I believe in rewarding in public and disciplining in private. And so we also create an environment of asking open questions without any judgment and without any criticism or open, discipline or negative feedback in the moment. We want people to feel like they can come and openly share their concerns, share their ideas, share problems that they're seeing, and share questions in an open environment among their team members and with their manager or business owner. And so those are a couple of things that you can actually understand from watching how your team reacts to different ways that you interact with them, from different processes you have, whether it's disciplinary or whether it's honoring them, praising them, or whether it's just how you deliver new information. Whatever it is in your business, you want to understand how your team is perceiving that and how they receive it the best. And then you can go ahead and create processes around that really facilitate, again, your team getting comfortable with each other, getting comfortable with you, and building trusting relationships so that way they can freely direct questions, problems, answers, and their thoughts to you and your team. The last thing for you to really focus on that really feeds off of the first two is going to make sure that you have a great environment and a great culture in place. Culture is going to be everything from why your team does what they do, how they interact with each other, how they interact with clients, the quality of work that they perform. Culture is just everything about who your business is, who your team members are, who they are when they come together, what the belief system is, right? And so you want to make sure, again, that you're facilitating, hey, we believe in having strong, healthy relationships between you guys. You need to go ahead and make sure that you're working on building those relationships, that you're working on building trust with each other, that we can all rely on one another, that we can trust what someone tells us. Everyone's going to live up to the expectations that they have. They're going to, meet the standards that we've all set in place for the business. All of those things are crucially important to culture. And when you create a great culture, great environment for your team to work and to be able to build solid, trusting relationships, again, with their team and with you, you're going to have a team that really comes together. They trust each other. They're going to work hard. They're going to be aligned in their visions. They're going to be aligned in their tasks and their projects. They're going to know who they can rely on. They're going to know the processes for the tasks that they need to get done, and they're just going to work like a well-oiled machine. So if you are struggling to get your team to come together, you probably need to be facilitating relationship building, and you need to make sure that you're implementing communication methods and that you're understanding the work habits, workflow, and that you're building good culture within your business. Hey everyone, that's the end of the video. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see more videos like this one, go ahead and leave the like button to let me know that you got value from the video, as well as go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that way you can be tuned in when I create more videos in the future. Also, go ahead and check out the description if you want to find out more information about working with me one-on-one. I do provide consulting and coaching services for hiring VA teams, for marketing teams, and sales teams to help your business get consistent growth so you can live a life of abundance.